Or another sixth edition of the Tokyo International Conference on Africa Development kicked off today in Nairobi, with global leaders calling for more collaboration and commitment in matters trade. African governments were further put to task to practice good governance if the private sector is to play a proactive role in investing in big-ticket projects. Well, KTN's Abby Agina continues with our coverage of the three-day conference.
For the first time, Kenya will be playing host to the Tokyo International Conference on African Development. Gracing a ministerial session, President Uhuru Kenyatta held talks with global leaders ahead of the official opening. The significance of the conference will be pegged on how African countries can boost economic development with the developed Asian countries who have been looking to grow trade, which is currently in favor of Japan.
We look forward to a robust and very productive exchange of ideas during the TICAD meetings that are going to be held here this weekend. We look to a candid exchange of insights about the present situation on the continent and a shared sense of fervor for the future of Africa.
Let me just appeal to the Japanese and the international side to put aside any preconcepts that they used to have about Africa and its private sector, and work with us through training, capacity building, and joint ventures so that we can develop manufacturing here in Africa in the same way that it was done in Southeast Asia.
The last TICAD meeting, held 5 years ago, arrived at a consensus that $32 billion, or approximately 3.2 trillion shillings, be set aside to be disbursed as grants to go towards infrastructure financing.
Through the TICAD 5, Japan pledged $32 billion to support Africa's development. Half of that went to the private sector under private partnerships, but half went to government by way of grants and overseas development agency. Of that, Kenya has benefited $455 billion so far.
This year, expectations are high as the Japanese up the ante to unseat global powerhouse China, which has made major inroads in Africa. Top business leaders emphasize the need for Africa to embrace good governance if it is to attract global investors.
Africa needs an estimated $90 billion annually through 2020, more than double current investment, and far beyond what governments can finance through public procurement for infrastructure, just for infrastructure alone. And today, the private sector is playing a more limited role in closing infrastructure gaps in Africa than in any other region.
African economies are not falling apart. Africa is growing at 3.7% in 2016, and this is projected to increase to 4.5% in 2017.
In the years to come, we Japanese companies will continue to assist in the construction of a high-quality infrastructure.
Japan's growing interest in Kenya is set to further complicate the diplomatic chess game that has seen the East open its arms to become a darling to African countries who are seeking instant support to fund ambitious development blueprints. Abi Agina, KTN News.
Thank you very much.